Hi, and welcome back to Wisdom from the Angels. Hi, my name is Carolyn, and I'm an energy intuitive. Anything you need to know about me is in the box below. I'm going to begin to shuffle the decks as I speak to you about some upcoming things that are going to be included on the channel. People have been sending requests for more support as they're going through troubling times in their life. So I'm going to be offering meditation, and all you need to do is write me an email, kind of give me an idea of what's going on, or just simply say, I need extra support. Put a heart in the subject matter, and I will go ahead and include you in the next meditation, which will be this next weekend. Okay? And if you'd like a session, shoot me an email. If you'd like to find out what is the best thing for you, whether it is a angel card reading or a distance healing session, shoot me an email and we can figure out how to decipher which one is best for you. Okay? If you are curious about an angel card reading, I pick many more decks than I do on a daily, on the channel reading. And I do use the time to answer all your questions. So whether you pick a 30-minute or a 60-minute, we can get through your questions. If it's something complex and it's multi-layered, then let's do the 60 minutes. If it's something that you are requesting, is this the best job for me? Or is there someone on my job who's giving me a hard time? How can I maneuver this? We can answer that and more. And I pick many more decks than I do here on the channel. So let's go ahead for today and let's get started with this meditation. Okay? Alrighty. Okay, so today is a very special day in our family. My baby girl is turning 36, so happy birthday. And because it is her birthday, I decided to pull out a few more decks than I normally do. So the decks we're going to be working with today is Love is Right, Love is Light by Doreen Virtue. And another Doreen Virtue deck is Messages from the Angels. And another deck that we're going to work with by Karen K is Oracle of the Fairies. So the fairies and the angels all work together, and they all work together rather well. We're also going to be using Divine Doors. And the Divine Doors is by Andrew Ingram. It comes in a cute little box like this. And we're going to use that for intuitive messages. And we're going to use Divine Directions, and that is by Jade Sky. And we're going to use this for guidance on a situation. Okay? All right, so we're going to get started. And the decks have all been shuffled. And I'm just going to ask the angels to come into this session. Let me bring the angels in so that they can tell me which deck do we start working with first. Okay? All righty, so here we go. Angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, guardian angels, light beings from all dimensions and all times. Ascended masters, Ganesh, Isis, Kuan Yin, Buddha, Jesus, Mother Mary, come into this reading and bring forth the clarity and guidance for the community at this time. Please make the message so that it is clear for us to decipher, and send in any additional information that may apply to an individual or individuals on the channel. We're so grateful and thankful for all that you do and all that you give us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm asking by putting my hand over the decks, and I use my non-dominant hand so that I'm getting real clear direction, and I'm getting used messages from the angels first. Okay, so we're going to see what this is that's coming in, and we're also, oh my goodness, Mercury went really direct yesterday. So all of the energies now that are coming through should really be coming through very clearly for us. It is also, I believe, let me look, the first quarter moon. Now, how do we use the energies of the moon? Because people have been calling and asking me, and emailing me, about that. Because once a month, twice a month, on the full moon and the new moon, I do an energy reading as well as a meditation. And we get into what's going on around the moons so that you can use and begin to harness that energy in a way that empowers you. The angels want us to live a life of just complete peace, and they really want us to be happy here on this earthly plane. And while we're growing and we're going through all the different things that come up and opportunities that come up, opportunities that sometimes we may see as challenges, they see as opportunities for our growth. And they will direct us and guide us if we bring them into our lives. And during the course of the reading, I'll show you how to do that, as well as how to call on your angels when maybe you're out and about in public, okay? And you need a little extra support or guidance or protection. Okay, so we have 4 cards that came out. Let me put on my glasses. The print is kind of small. So the first one that came out is Teresa. Time out. You've been so busy taking care of others' needs, but now it's time to stop and take care of yourself. And as you can see, she's just looks like she's really restful and peaceful. And Angel Teresa is here to guide us, to help us take better care of ourselves. So a time of self-love. Then we have Angel Indriel. You are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all its inhabitants. So this is for anyone who does a lot of healing work, or someone who does a lot of energy work, and someone who may just need that extra little bit. In our own ways, we are all light workers. What is a light worker? Someone that is bringing enlightenment to the planet through something that they enjoy doing. And that can be any number of things. It can be from cooking to teaching to singing to dancing to doing work in their own practices or businesses, as well as doing readings here on YouTube. Serafina, I am an angel of families. A happy change or addition is coming to your family. And the other angel that came out is Ariel. New psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Allow the spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, and meditation. So we have a real clear message here, or at least it appears to be clear to me, about us taking better care of ourselves, about us taking downtime to allow ourselves to shine, to allow ourselves to reflect. We just came out of Mercury Retrograde, and this last Mercury Retrograde was also part of the energies of the eclipses, the solstice, as well as the new moon. In fact, it was part of both new moons because it started in mid-June. And the shadow period was actually earlier than that, so it was early June. So we have all of that energy that we were working with over these last 6 to 8 weeks that we could really now sit back and reflect on. What did I learn? What could I have done differently? How might I have responded in a more empowered way? How can I use this energy going forward so that I can show up in my life in an enlightened way? So that's one way we can use the moon energy. Another way would be to take time and just journal. Start writing out. What did you learn? What were your biggest challenges or opportunities, because challenges can be seen as opportunities to grow. Now, what were your biggest ones, and in what ways do you feel that you grew? Also start to look at, okay, now that I'm aware of that, what is my intention to move forward? And today is a great day to make a decision about how you would like to move forward as you go through this next moon cycle. Okay? And then we have Serafina, who is showing up to say there's a happy change coming in the family. Now, if you have a family of origin or a family of choice, there may be some great news coming forward. There may be a new addition. Not only is this also about family, but it could also be about us birthing something new within our own worlds. It could also be about us thinking about perhaps setting those goals and making a decision to bring that dream that we have been holding on to really tight, to bring it forward, to share it with the world, to let our light shine. And then we have Ariel, and Ariel says new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way we look at the world and allow your gifts to open. And it gives the example of studying, of prayer, of meditation. So people say, what's the difference between prayer and meditation? For me, they're both. One is sitting and being and perhaps quiet or speaking with the universe in a very personal way, as is prayer. Meditation for me opened up a lot of my gifts and a lot of my talents. At first, meditation was very challenging, but I took it on as a opportunity to really begin to hone in on my skills. And I remember sitting there and getting so frustrated because I just couldn't get still. I couldn't be still. I couldn't sit still when I first started out. And I finally said, okay, rather than do an hour, let me try it for 10 minutes. Let me try it for 15. And slowly that began to grow up to an hour. Now, back then I didn't have all the apps that we have today, but we have some wonderful apps that you can look at on your phones. There's one called Calm, and that has many different meditations on it. The one I'm more familiar with is Insight Timer. And not only does Insight Timer have different meditations, they also offer courses. And they're at a pretty reasonable rate. They don't cost tons and tons of money. But and there's a lot on there, the content that is free. The one thing I love about these apps is that you can take them with you anywhere. You can have a guided meditation. You can have a quiet time where the bell sounds when it's over, or it's time for you to begin to come back into your space. Okay? If there's any questions you have about meditation, send me an email. All right? Now, how do we get the angels to work with us in a better way or in a different way? Or if you're new to angels, working with angels, bring your hands to your heart and invite the angels in. Not sure which angel to call? Tell them, get the flock in here. Now, when you bring your hands to your heart, you might want to close your eyes, but if you're not in a safe place or you're not comfortable with your eyes closed, leave them open. Leave them open, but look down and just look at maybe one thing, something that is not going to just grab your attention, and just stare at that and start to just take in 4 deep breaths. Why 4? Why not? And then start to talk to the angels like you talk to your best friends. And you just say, angels, I give you permission to come into my life. I desire whatever it is, fill in the blank. This or something even better than I can imagine. Because remember, the angels can perform miracles, and they can bring things into our world that we could not even imagine happening. And really get clear about what it is that you truly desire, okay? Now, if you're saying, I really want to be a nurse. I want to go work in a hospital. and I want to start tomorrow, and I really want to go in there and help patients. Okay, now look at your skill set. Have you studied nursing? Have you been to school and done any work around nursing science? Have you done any of the background things that you need to do, like get your license and all of those things before you can begin to start going into a setting to be a nurse? Have you done that work? If not, that's where you need to start. It's like someone saying, you know what, I'm going to build a house. And I'm going to build a 3-story house. Well, have you ever done one before? No, but that shouldn't stop me. And you're sitting with the banker asking for money, and the banker's looking at you like, where did you think you were going to get money to do this when you don't have any of the skills? You don't have any of the documents needed in order to go forward for us to support your dream. So you have to be prepared so that when you do make that step out, you don't get a big push back because you're not ready yet. And don't look at not being ready or having all the skills yet as a sign of discouragement. Look at it as a learning lesson, and take that lesson and get real curious and start to really look at how can you change your world? How can you open it up? How can you become what it is that you are trying to become or that you desire to become? That's the best way to begin to do this. And as we are in the situation we are now with the pandemic and being on lockdown or settle in place, great times to start studying because many courses are offered online. So that way you have a focus so that when we come out of this, whenever it is that we do, and things go to a new normal, because they're never going back to the old way. We're going into a new normal. So that when we step into that new normal, that you're ready and you're prepared. Okay? So let's look at the deck let's look at the deck Divine Doors to see what obstacles may stand in your way and to get some guidance as to, oh boy, okay, it says take all of them. Several of them fell out. And I love these cards because they have such pretty colors on them. And this one says, begin here. Okay, so we just talked about you need to start somewhere. And it says, do not fear what travel brings, my dear. The moment is yours. Begin now here. So you have to start somewhere on the path. And you do need to really investigate, where are you on that path? Do you have the skills and gifts that you believe that you need to go about doing what it is you wish to do? Or do you need to get more training? The next card that comes out says, heart healing. And, oh, yes. Morning now has had its time. Do not pay it a single dime. Emerge from the darkness and new day starts. Let light embrace the healing heart. And this is the doorway that shows up. And see how pretty it is that it is coming from darkness going into light. And start to think about how you are coming out of the darkness, how you are moving into the light. Yes, this pandemic brought up a lot of emotions with people, especially being at home. And one of the things was people feeling very sad and very alone or feeling like they were grieving. And it's a good time for you to now look at, what was I feeling? Where did it show up in my body? How do I begin to change that? Or how do I begin to shift that feeling into something productive? Because just like you may be looking for a new career, a new job, a new focus, you can also begin to see what was coming up. All right? Grief is one way of looking at what our hearts are calling us to do. Grief is one way of looking at what we are being taught. Now, when we say grief, think about this. Grief is more than about death. There are so many ways that one can grieve. I'll give you a couple of examples that have nothing to do with death. Moving from one city to another. The loss of a pet. A new home. Getting a new job, leaving your old one. Those are all the ways, those are just some of the ways that we can feel grief, we can feel loss, we can feel like I've really misplaced something that I used to have. Because that's what grief is. Grief is all about something, someone, a circumstance, or an opportunity that you were used to having that is no longer available to you. And if you're interested in doing any grief work, send me an email. I am a grief coach. One of my other hats I wear. Okay, and the last one is divine guardian. And did you know we all have guardians around us? You have a guardian angel. You might have more than one. It says, do not be nervous today or tonight. The path you are on will lead you just right. And there we see an image of someone standing at the door, and it looks like a monk because it is orange, and it looks like a very sacred place. And we are all on a sacred journey. Whether we realize it or not, we are here in this physical form, having a very sacred time on this planet. And it is a time right now of healing. It is a time right now of us moving forward because we are in new energy. Not just with Mercury going direct, not just with Mercury now finally being out of all of the challenges we've had over the last 6 weeks, but also our being, take these, okay, but also of our being able to see past the darkness, to be able to see past all of the things that have held us back. If we allow our imaginations to really, really soar and ask the angels to give us guidance, be surprised and excited. And whatever you do, always say thank you, okay? No matter what shows up. And the more you start to work with the angels, the more they will show up in your life. And this message says, take care of the little things. I want to bring it up closer so you can see. It says, the river of God has plenty of water. It provides a bountiful harvest of grain, for you have ordered it so. So it's saying, start to take care of the little things first. Start to look at, hey, you know what? This is my goal. Let me start to break it down. Let me break it down into bite-sized pieces. Maybe my first goal, if I'm looking for a new career, is, what am I looking for? What is my deepest desire around this career? Why? Answer that question, why? Why am I being called to do this? How do I wish to show up? What do I need to have? What skills do I need to have in order to step into that place? And the other card that came out is speak words of love. And this says, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. So be strong, whether you use the word God, Lord, universe, creator, whatever it is that you use to speak to the divine being that is in your life, the higher power, the higher consciousness, whatever it is, start to speak to them if you haven't already, and start to ask for guidance. Start to really rely on them to begin to show you exactly what it is that you are here to do. Okay? All right, I love this message for today. We are all going to really embrace this time. We're going to start to use this energy to get going with our lives and to show up. And we're going to start to really hone in on our skills. We're going to start to really look at, what is it that I really need to put my focus? Where do I need to put my focus? Sorry, they're talking 90 miles a minute, and I'm trying to get the words out. And begin to really look at, where in me may I need to continue to heal? If I'm grieving anything, or I'm sad about anything, or I feel like I've lost something, let me look and really see, how I can shift that feeling into something even better. Now, if you've lost someone that you really, really, truly loved, I am so sorry for your loss. And if you'd like to work with someone, please send me an email and we'll arrange a time to talk and begin to figure out how we could work best together. Okay? So I wish you a wonderful, beautiful day. And as I said earlier, happy birthday to my daughter, my baby girl. And I hope that all of you have a beautiful day today. Celebrate this day. Celebrate each and every day. And may your hearts have more peace than you could possibly ever hold. Take care and come on back to Wisdom from the Angels. Don't forget, subscribe if you're new. Give me a thumbs up. Hit the bell so you can get an email notification. All right, thank you very much and take care. Namaste.